Arsenal fans in Africa are another level. But it wasn't always this way. Here's how a football club in North London became known as Africa's Club. Founded in 1886, Arsenal spent almost its first century as a primarily white English team.
English football was very kind of insular. England wasn't a very friendly place for immigrants. The idea was, African players, you didn't know who they were, you didn't know anything about their abilities.
The first black player was signed in 1972. His name was Brendan Batson. But things really started to change in the 1990s with manager Arsène Wenger. He was from France, where the top football league, Ligue 1, had a history of signing black players, long before teams in England.
When he became the manager of Arsenal in 1996, he signed a player called Christopher Rare, who's Liberian, and he also brought other black players like Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry, Sylvain Deltour. So at some point, Wenger would put a team of players onto the field where sometimes, with the exception of one or two players, they all came from an African country or they were black. And so that changed people's perception. They became very successful, of course.
And for many fans, players like Nwankwo Kanu represented something foundational and essential to football.
What Kanu brought was a certain kind of improvisation. There's something about that joy that when people play football in Africa, I think that football represents this kind of freedom in a place in which people often don't have other outlets, whether politically, socially, to express themselves. They saw the players who look like them, dress like them, like the slang, the style, like the language.
Arsenal became a club where black fans saw themselves reflected on the pitch, from its diverse home base in Islington to communities across Africa watching the Premier League on satellite TV.
Arsenal represents something also a kind of a democratic culture, because what people in Uganda and also in Kenya and elsewhere do, you watch football communally. They help each other when they're trying to pay for something. So it also becomes like a mutual aid society.
But sometimes the business of Arsenal can clash with the aspirational democratic culture Arsenal represents. Arsenal's Visit Rwanda sleeve sponsorship, launched in 2018, faced backlash over allegations that Rwanda is backing the M23 militia in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which Rwanda denies. Arsenal ended the sponsorship, but recently signed another sponsorship with Deal, which sparked fan backlash over the company's links to Israel. Still, Arsenal continues to have a huge hold in Africa and the Black diaspora.